flood. Demons were sent to them, and a deviation of the winds, and a burden of the angels, and a fear of the prophet, a condemnation of speech, that I may teach you, O Shem, from what blindness your race is protected. When I have revealed to you all that has been spoken, then the righteous one will 25 shine upon the world with my garment. And the night and the day will be separated. For I shall hasten down to the world to take the light of that place, the one which faith possesses. And I shall appear to those who will acquire the thought of the light of the Spirit. For because of them my majesty appeared. When he will have appeared, O Shem, upon the earth, in the place which will be called Sodom, then safeguard the insight which I shall give you. For those whose heart was pure will congregate to you, because of the word which you will reveal. For when you appear in the world, dark nature will shake against you, together with the winds and a demon, that they may destroy the insight. But you, proclaim quickly to the Sodomites your universal teaching, for they are your members. For the demon of human form will part from that place by my will, since he is ignorant. He will guard this utterance. But the Sodomites, according to the will of the Majesty, will bear witness to the universal testimony. They will rest with a pure conscience in the place of their repose, which is the unbegotten Spirit. And as these things will happen, Sodom will be burned unjustly by a base nature. For the evil will not cease in order that your Majesty may reveal that place. Then 30 the demon will depart with faith. And then he will appear in the 4 regions of the world. And when 5 faith appears in the last likeness, then will her appearance become manifest. For the firstborn is the demon who appeared in the union of nature with many faces, in order that faith might appear in him. For when he appears in the world, evil passions will arise, and earthquakes, and wars, and famines, and blasphemies. For because of him the whole world will be disturbed. For he will seek the power of faith and light. He will not find it. For at that time the demon will also appear upon the river to baptize with an imperfect baptism, and to trouble the world with the bondage of water. But it is necessary for me to appear in the members of the thought of faith to reveal the great things of my power. I shall separate it from the demon who is sold as. And the light which he possesses from the Spirit I shall mix with my invincible garment, as well as him whom I shall reveal in the darkness for your sake and for the sake of your race which will be protected from the evil darkness. Know, O Shem, that without Elohchios and Amoyas and Strophias and Chalkik and Kalki and Elo, no one will be able to pass by this wicked region. For this is my memorial tent that in it I have been victorious over the wicked region. And I have taken the light of the Spirit from the frightful water. For when the appointed days of the demon draw near he who will baptize erringly then I shall appear in the baptism of the demon to reveal with the mouth of faith a testimony to those who belong to her. I testify of thee, spark the unquenchable, Asai, the elect of the light, the eye of heaven, and faith, the first and the last, and Sophia, and Sophia, and Sophana, and the righteous spark, and the impure light. And you, east, and west, and north, and south, upper air and lower air, and all the powers and authorities, you are in nature. And you, Malakha and Sakar from every work and every impure effort of nature. Then I shall come from the demon down to the water. And whirlpools of water and flames of fire will rise up against me. Then I shall come up from the water, having put on the light of faith and the unquenchable fire, in order that through my help the power of the Spirit may cross, she who has been cast in the world by the winds and the demons and the stars. And in them every unchastity will be filled. Finally, O Shem, consider yourself pleasing in the thought of the light. Do not let your thought have dealings with the fire and the body of darkness which was an unclean work. These things which I teach you are right. This is the paraphrase, for you did not remember that it is from the firmament that your race has been protected. Elohchios is the name of the great light, the place from which I have come, the word which has no equal. And the likeness is my honored garment. And Dirdirkes is the name of his word in the voice of the light. And Strophia is the blessed glance which is the Spirit, and it is Chalkich, who is my garment, who has come from the astonishment, who is in the cloud of the Hymen which appeared, as a trimorphic cloud. And Kalki is my garment which has 2 forms, he who was in the cloud of silence. And Chalk is my garment which was given him from every region. It was given him in a single form from the greatness, He who was in the cloud of the middle region and the star of the light which was mentioned is my invincible garment which I wore in Hades. This the star of the light is the mercy which surpasses the thought and the testimony of those who bear witness. And the testimony which has been mentioned the first and the last, faith, the mind of the wind of darkness. And Sophia and Sophana are in the cloud of those who have been separated from the chaotic fire. And the righteous spark is the cloud of light which has shone in your midst. For in it the cloud of light my garment will go down to chaos. But the impure light, which appeared in the darkness and which belongs to dark nature, is a power. And the upper air and the lower air, and the 5 powers and the authorities, the demons and the stars, these possessed a particle of fire and a light from the Spirit. And Molokthus is a wind, for without it nothing is brought forth upon the earth. He has a likeness of a serpent and a unicorn. His protrusions are manifold wings. And the remainder is the womb which has been disturbed. You are blessed, Shem, for your race has been protected from the dark wind which is many-faced. And they will bear the universal testimony and bear witness to the impure practice of nature. And they will become sublimed through the reminder of the light. O Shem, no one who wears the body will be able to complete these things. But through our remembrance he will be able to grasp them, in order that, when his thought separates from the body, then these things may be revealed to him. They have been revealed to your race. O Shem, it is difficult for someone wearing a body to complete these things, as I said to you. And it is a small number that will complete them, those who possess the particle of the mind and the thought of the light of the Spirit. They will keep their mind from the impure practice. For many in the race of nature will seek the security of the power. They will not find it, nor will they be able to do the will of faith. For they are seed of the universal darkness. And those who find them are in much suffering. The winds and the demons will hate them. And the bondage of the body is severe. For where the winds, and the stars, and the demons cast forth from the power of the Spirit, their repentance and testimony will appear upon them, and mercy will lead them to the unbegotten Spirit. And those who are repentant will find rest in the consummation and faith, in the place of the hymen. This is the faith which will fill the place which has been left empty. But those who do not share in the Spirit of light and in faith will dissolve in the darkness, the place where repentance did not come. It is I who opened the eternal gates which were shut from the beginning. To those who long for the best of 5 life, and those who are worthy of the repose, he revealed them. I granted perception to those who perceive. I disclosed to them all the thoughts and the teaching of the righteous ones. And I did not become their enemy at all. But when I had endured the wrath of the world, I was victorious. There was not one of them who knew me. The gates of fire and endless smoke opened against me. All the winds rose up against me. The thunderings and the lightning flashes for a time will rise up against me. And they will bring their wrath upon me. And on account of me according to the flesh, they will rule over them according to kind. And many who wear erring flesh will go down to the harmful waters through the winds and the demons. And they are bound by the water. And he will heal with a futile remedy. He will lead astray, and he will bind the world. And those that do the will of nature, their part will, 2 times in the day of the water and the forms of nature. And it will not be granted them, when faith disturbs them in order to take to herself the righteous one. O Shem, it is necessary that the thought be called by the word in order that the bondage of the power of the Spirit may be saved from the frightful water. And it is blessedness if it is granted someone to contemplate the Exalted One, and to know the exalted time and the bondage. For the water is an insignificant body. And men are not released, since they are bound in the water, just as from the beginning the light of the Spirit was bound. O Shem, they are deceived by manifold demons, thinking that through baptism with the uncleanness of water, that which is dark, feeble, idle, and disturbing, he will take away the sins. And they do not know that from the water to the water there is bondage, and error and unchastity, envy, murder, adultery, false witness, heresies, robberies, lusts, babblings, wrath, bitterness, great. Therefore there are many deaths which burden their thoughts. For I foretell it to those who have a heart. They will refrain from the impure baptism. And those who take heart from the light of the Spirit will not have dealings with the impure practice. And their heart will not expire, nor will they curse. And the water nor will they be given honor. Where the curse is, there is the deficiency. And the blindness is where the honor is. For if they mix with the evil ones, they become empty in the dark water. For where the water has been mentioned, there is nature, and the oath, and the lie, and the loss,